All right, so looking at the proven oil reserves chart there, that's from energyinsights.net. Of course, you can find the same data in lots of other places. For instance, in Saudi Arabia or Iran or Libya, gas prices have recently been about 65 cents per gallon. That's because there's just so much gas there relative to demand, right? There's just not as much cars and demand, and they have a whole lot of gas. So it's about 65 cents per gallon. That was as of August 2011. And again, there's a link up there that'll probably show something updated from whenever I originally made this blog in August of 2011. But anyway, the 65 cents per gallon is with prices converted to U.S. dollars from whatever local currency in Iran or Libya or Saudi Arabia. So those places have a lot of oil and not so much demand from cars. There's just not even a whole lot of highways in some of those places. So you can imagine how people in Japan or the UK feel about gasoline prices that are less than 10% of what the Japanese and British pay in those places. They're paying over $6.50, right? Way over $6.50. And in these other places, people are paying 65 cents. So you can imagine how people in Japan and UK feel about gas prices that are less than 10% of what they have to pay. Now, why is it so much lower in those places? Well, because there's not much demand for auto fuel and there's a lot of oil. In Japan and in the UK, there's a high demand for auto fuel and not much crude oil production, or even no crude oil production. Now, in Venezuela, gas prices have been about 10 cents per gallon for many years, with prices converted to U.S. dollars, right? 10 cents per gallon in U.S. dollar prices. Again, you can imagine probably how jealous the people in Arabia or Libya feel about gas prices of only 10 cents per gallon. They have to pay 65 cents, and these people in Venezuela only pay like 10 cents. You can relate to that, right? Well, someone recently asked me, when are the prices of gasoline going to be 10 cents again in Saudi Arabia? They're all the way up to 65 cents per gallon now. Isn't that just horrible? Can you guess what I told them? Well, I probably should pause right here because that next chart, I don't really describe anything about it in the actual blog. But take a look at that chart of the phase. I'm going to go ahead and pause here. Do a new separate section for part 5. Look at that chart of smart money, individual investors, and the public, and how the public's enthusiasm, greed, and delusion are the top of that mania phase. Just look at that for a minute, and then click on part 5 video.